it's 24 man hours over 3 days.
Right.
So you know, it's a start and stop time. You know, you start 8 in the morning, you stop for lunch. Everybody has the same amount of time on the plot. It starts with just a pile of approximately 12 to 15 tons of sand, and we come in with wood and round forms, and almost imagine like large buckets to try to hold the sand, wet it, pack it, and tamp it. So in this case, you have to move the pile out of the way to get your first form in place, because you want to have a firm foundation. So you wet the base real good, you put your form in there depending on what your sculpture is going to be. It could be square, rectangle, octagon, or just these round forms. And then we fill them up every 3 to 6 inches, water, tamp, finish that form, put another form a little bit smaller on top. And when the form's done, it almost looks like a birthday cake or something, layers of sand. And then you can stand on it while it has the forms on it. And then that's how you start. You always start at the top. So you release your outer covering on the top, and you start to carve and relief whatever, and the sculpture starts to come alive out of the sculpture. And you work your way down, and as you get to the bottom, sometimes you take that last form off. It's like a time of you know, anxiety, because sometimes they fall. You're trying to achieve a lot of height, and there was a couple cases in the contest here where they had some collapses, and it has to do with two things. When you're in a contest like this, you're trying to really push the sand to the max. So sometimes you go a little too far, and you know, sometimes you don't, and then that's when you do real well, because you did something amazing with it. The other thing is the packing of it. If you don't pack it properly and you remove the forms, that could be an opportunity where you might have something that might shear off or fall and not handle the weight. But after that, and you get that bottom form off, you know, you're like good to go, and the rest of the time is just enjoying it and doing your thing. And sometimes you might have a set design totally from top to bottom. Sometimes you might have like A, B, and C. If I have enough time, I'm going to add this here. If I have enough time, I'm going to add this here. Like in my situation here on this left-hand side of the sculpture, originally I was going to put a woman on the ground looking for the coin, and I just didn't have the hours that I needed for it, so I quick put a table there and had the coin underneath it. But you know, things like that. If you have the time, you might add your extras, but it's a timed event, and you're all under the gun, and you're trying to work as fast as you can, but it's a lot of fun.
As far as your artwork goes, are there any themes or like certain visions that you try to portray more consistently, or is it kind of just whatever comes to you?
No, I do. I'm not sure, I can't speak for all the different artists, but it's open. This contest is open for anything that you want. You know, they definitely say that it's a family event. They don't want to see anything that wouldn't be appropriate for children to see, and some artists go a little risky on that. But me personally, I just feel that my talent is from God, and I always try to pick some type of theme that is going to be either biblical theme, maybe evangelistical theme, or you know, some type of message that I leave on the beach. That's my thing. You know, my company is Sand Creation, and I leave a message on the beach. You know, send a message in sand. That's what I say. So you know, as far as this is two parables from Luke in the Bible. The one is of the lost coin, the other is of the lost sheep, and the whole idea here is you know, the shepherd had 100 sheep, one went astray. He left the 99 to go rescue the one and search for the one. The woman had 10 coins, which were very valuable to her. She lost the one. She stayed up all night long with a lamp to find the other coin, found the coin. Both of them rejoiced when they found their loss, and heaven rejoices when a soul is found. And Jesus comes to seek the lost. So, and that's what the message is here. And you know, I'm happy to be able to have this talent and this opportunity to come out and, you know, do a sculpture on the beach. So hopefully people will be reached by it, or, you know, might change their life. You know, there's a lot of lost people in this world. So.
Right. So what inspired you to start doing this and kind of follow I guess the thematic pattern that you have? Like, how did you get started?
In 2000, a friend of mine, I'm an artist. I went to school for graphic design, so I was working in an advertising agency, and I'm also a fireman in Atlantic City. So a friend of mine was also, actually he's my neighbor in this contest, but I got involved through John, and he had his book of sand sculptures that he's done, you know, in the past, you know, in 2000, and I saw his work and I was interested, and he took me on the job with him. And when I was in college, I did a lot of fine artwork, a lot of three-dimensional work with clay. So it kind of blended real easy for me to just jump right into the sand. And by the end of that year, I was competing with him, and then started to compete solo, and here I am today.
Great. And how long ago was that? If you don't mind?
It was in 2000, so I've been carving for 13 years now.
Great. And I think you had mentioned that you work with kids every now and again.
I do.
Right.
I do. I teach a lot of lessons. I really enjoy it. I think it's an art form that pretty much anybody can do. I enjoy. I have 6 children of my own, so I just really I teach Sunday school, and I relate my sand sculptures a lot to that. But as far as teaching lessons on the beach, birthday parties, just clinics, kids love it. Just as you see behind us, there's a contest going on right now, and the kids are out there getting the water from the ocean and forming the sand right now. What's really special about sand sculpting is it's a free medium that is there. Kids can learn, they can practice things, they can knock it down, they can do it over. It's a lot of fun, and I think that once you get your hands involved in it with the sand, you're hooked.
Right. So how often would you say you participate in competitions like this?
I probably go to about 3 major competitions a year just because of my schedule at the firehouse, and I probably work on different projects during the year, maybe 30 to 40 projects back home. A lot of work for some of the casinos back home, and I do a lot of weddings. I do a lot of wedding castles, like almost like an ice sculpture, but a sand sculpture for beach-themed weddings.
Great. Dan, anything?
Family history.
Could you tell us a little bit about your family history? We're asking this of a lot of people.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I was born and raised in Atlantic City, New Jersey, from a family of 8. So we live blocked from the beach, so we spent many days on the beach, so that was kind of the start of playing in the sand when I was little. Then I was a lifeguard for 10 years on the beach, and now I'm a fireman in Atlantic City, and the beach, and I don't think I could live far from the beach. I just love to go there. I love to walk on the beach. I love to see the ocean, the water, and I'm attracted to it. So to be able to travel around and visit different beaches is just a dream.
What do you think of Virginia Beach?
Yeah, what do you think of Virginia Beach?
Virginia Beach is one of my favorite contests. Every year they just keep adding and improving, and I would have to say it's one of the top contests in the world. But Virginia Beach itself is just a pleasure to come here. When I first started competing here years ago, and my children were younger, I used to bring my children all the time, but now because of school, it's hard to get them out. But I love this place, and hopefully I'll just be invited every year, and I'll be able to compete here because I really enjoy it. People are great. I see a lot of faces and a lot of people that are repeat, and they come and they look forward to seeing me again. I look forward to seeing them, and I try to put on a show and put an impressive piece of artwork up for them to see, and that's our relationship.
Excellent. And we've kind of been also asking everybody this too. What's in your backyard?
That's a good question. In my backyard is a swing set, and right adjacent to the swing set is a 12 by 12 sandbox with about 15 tons of sand in it. And as we speak right now, there's a big birthday cake with a 9-year-old. Liam, my youngest son, just turned 9, so my sandbox is not only a place for me to practice, but it's also, if we have a party at the house, I usually try to represent whatever's going on in the party, whether it's a birthday party, graduation, with the sand sculpture. And it usually stays. The kids kind of, they don't touch it while it has the sculpture in it, and until I go and change it again, or we go in there and play together.